Hi y'all, this is So Blessed. Welcome to the Blessed Place. How y'all doing? Welcome to another car vlog. Today is Monday and I do not have the Monday blues. It is all good. I am thankful and blessed. Let me just get right to y'all. I told somebody that I was going to talk about story time and tell y'all about a time when I was so broke. It ain't like I got it all like that now, but I will say God is good, things are better. But let's just get right to the story time, you guys. Okay, I can't remember. I might have told it once, sometime or another over the last few years of YouTube. So if I told it, just stay and listen again, or just go ahead and click off if you've already heard the story. It's a story about how broke we were at one time. So you guys, my husband and I, we had started the church, and the church was, just small, and it's still small, but it was smaller and growing. And we were just broke trying to take care of our household expenses and the church expenses, because the tithe and offering and giving and all that didn't even meet the how much we had to pay for the building that we were in, not even to mention all the other expenses. It didn't even cover the rent. So we always try to make sure we reserved enough money in our paycheck to take care of church bills. So we're trying to take care of both, but we are broke. And we were so broke. And this particular day, we were so broke. We had been broke for years, doing this, trying to take care of home and church. But this particular day, we were so broke. And I mean, other times we might have $5, $10, and my husband and I would share that $5 or $10. He would always give me the better part of the money. If we had $10, he'd give me $8, he'd keep $2. No matter how much I tried to split it in half and 50-50, no, I'll go to the vending machine, you take $8, I'll take $2. If we only had $5, you take 3 or 4, I'll take the 1 or 2. We always did it like that. Yeah, but this particular time, we ain't have nothing to split. I mean, we did not have $1. I could not on a bank account, not in a piggy bank, not in my wallet, not in Charles's wallet. We did not have $1. Not one. As a matter of fact, our bank accounts might have been in the negative, like negative $20, $30, $40, something like that. The church account had nothing in it. We were, I'm talking about broke. Sometimes people say broke and they can, put their hand on a few dollars. Like my mama, you know the mamas. When the mamas say they broke, oh, they can put their hand on a few dollars if they need to. We had no money, zero. So you guys, I'm trying to think, where I could find money. Who owes me? Where I could find money? I can't think. I could think of a few people who owe me, but I wouldn't go call them up and say, "Hey, remember that money y'all owe us?" But I'm thinking, and y'all, I got this bright idea. I remember that. Okay, but now, mind you, by this time I'm retired. From this, I'm retired from my first job. So I retired from my job in 2010. So I'm gonna say, and we started the church, I'm gonna say this might have been around 2013 or so, somewhere around there. And so all my little retirement money gone, all of that. Probably like the prodigal son, riotous living. Riotous living, making it rain on that retirement money. And then after a couple of years, it was gone. Anyways, I know y'all with the sense of humor know what I mean. I went out there literally, hey, making it rain, but Anyway, so y'all, I think to myself, where can I get some money? And I remembered that I had, when I was working, I would get direct deposit of like my little play money. I always called it my play money. So like $100 a paycheck, I would get direct deposited into this local credit union that we have. So then I remember, now this, mind you, this is now maybe 2.5 years or so after I retired, and I hadn't used that account anymore because I no longer had the direct deposit. And so I no longer use that account. So I just figured, you know, they probably done closed the account by now. You know, 2.5 years later, no more direct deposit. So I don't know what they're doing with this account. But it came into my mind, Deidre, remember you used to get direct deposit into this account? Maybe you still have, you know, $40, $50, $60 just, you know, sitting in there. Perhaps maybe even over the last 2.5, 3 years, maybe even some interest has grown on that, you know, $40, $50, and maybe you got, you know, $50, $60 by now. Because I don't know what my balance was when I left. So when I stopped using it. So I go to the bank, and the bank is in the parking lot. The credit union is in the parking lot of a Walmart, and it was nearby, maybe like at that time, maybe about an 8-minute drive from my house. So I get in my vehicle and go to, I remember we had a Ford Expedition. I get into the Ford Expedition, I go to the bank. I go inside, and I go to the counter, and I tell the bank teller, yes, I used to have a bank account here, and I used to have direct deposit, and I'm not sure, you know, I haven't used the account in 2.5, 3 years, and I'm not sure if the account is still open, if there's a balance in there or anything. And I'm just checking, y'all. Everything within me, I was mustering up casual talk. I did not want her to know the panic that was inside me and the anxiety that was inside me, that wanted to scream that I desperately need money. I don't care if it's $5 in there. I desperately need some money. I probably spent more money in gas in the 8-minute drive than probably was in the account. So y'all, everything within me, I wanted to just bust out crying and say, lady, I just need some money. But, you know, I was trying to be all sophisticated. I was trying to be all sophisticated, and I was like, yes, you know, I have an account here, and I'm just checking to see if that account is still open. And I gave her my social security number. She asked me if I knew the account number. I didn't know the account number, but I gave her my social security number. She looked it up, and she says, yes, ma'am, the account is still open. However, the account is negative $60-something. And she said, and how would you like to make that payment? I said, oh my, clutch pearls. Oh my, it's in the negative? Oh, okay. I wonder how that happened. And I said, well, I haven't used the account in 3 years or so, so I didn't realize it was in the negative. I said, oh, and I didn't bring anything in here, you know, to make payment with. I said, so I'll have to come back and make the payment on that, and then I'll just come make the payment, and I'll just close it out, because as you can see, there's no activity on there. I haven't used it in years, so you know, it's like, you know, my compass attitude. Oh, I've moved on to bigger and better. I moved on to Wachovia at that time, but now it's Wells Fargo. And but I didn't tell her all that. I just, oh, okay. You know, I'm sorry about that. I didn't realize it was in the negative. So I'll come back on another day, perhaps the next day or two. I'll be back, and I'll take care of the account and clear it out. And she said, oh, okay, ma'am. Thank you very much. I said, okay. Y'all, I went into my vehicle. When I tell you, took everything within me to not bust out cry while I was in the presence of that lady or anybody who was in the parking lot, I got back into that Ford Expedition, and I was about to let it all out, but then I realized that I'm in a little small parking lot, and people going and coming may wonder what's going on, and may come and ask me, am I okay, or want to call the police to check on me. So I held it in, and I drove out of that parking lot and went into the Walmart parking lot, because I figured it's a much bigger parking lot. And you know, Walmart customers, they don't care nothing about what's going on in the parking lot, because let's just face it, all kinds come to Walmart. So I went to the Walmart parking lot, which was just like in this, you know, in the same vicinity. And I parked, y'all, and I boo-hoo cried. I mean, I gut cried. I cried, like my mama said, for old and new. Where my mama told us, I'm gonna beat your butt and I'm gonna pay you for old and new, the time that I didn't get you. Y'all, I boo-hoo cried for the old and the new. I boohoo cried for being so poor. I boohoo cried for being so broke. I boohoo cried for being what is it? Not doing right with my money. I boohoo cried for all the time that I'm, making it rain and should have been saving some of that money. But I did do, a lot of other stuff with that money. But y'all, I boohoo cried for how God was doing us. Here it is, we done started the ministry, and Lord, you doing us so wrong. I boohoo cried for everything I can think of. I boohoo cried for being fat. I boohoo cried for being poor. I boohoo cried for everything. I got it all out in that session. And I mean, I was, I cried, snot cried. Oh, y'all, I cried so hard and so long that my cry turned into a laughter. I kind of like came to myself. Like I said, again, the prodigal son, I came to myself and thought, teacher, that is hilarious. One day you gonna laugh about that. Maybe not today, but one day you gonna laugh about this, and it's gonna end up being story time. Now, I wasn't thinking about YouTube story time at that time, but I was thinking one day you and Charles go laugh about this. And look how life turns out. So, in closing, I just encourage you, whatever you boohoo crying about right now, one day you're going to look back and either you're going to laugh about it or you're going to learn from it. So, I just want to share that story time with you all. Thank you all for watching. Let me get in here and get on this radio. Love y'all. Y'all be blessed.